If shock value is the currency of a certain strain of the internet, then think of 4chan and 8chan kind of like a central bank. They print the worst kind of hate and violence imaginable.
4chan is truly a site with no rules. A place that has sparked countless memes, viral trends and even more powerful movements. In this video we are diving into the most unsettling corners of 4chan, exploring how this chaotic, unfiltered community has shaped nearly every part of the internet culture. Because 4chan's dark and complex history holds plenty to unpack. Whether you're familiar with 4chan or just curious about it, stick around as we dive deep into the most disturbing corners of 4chan. As always, we will start with the well-known things and gradually go more obscure as we go on. And once again, I hope that your snorkels are ready because we have a new series ahead. Without further ado, let's start with this video.
Dear citizens of the world, the time for truth has arrived, a time for freedom and transparency, a time for people to express themselves freely and to be heard from anywhere across the world.
They hacked corporations, challenged governments, and they are a perfect way to start this deep dive about 4chan. So the first entry is about Anonymous. They're a collective identity used by users of 4chan, and there is no way you didn't hear about them or at least seen their masks somewhere online. But did you know about their history and what are the masks standing for? If not, let me explain to you.
Exactly, it's a violation of freedom of speech, and it's Anonymous and a lot of other movements regard the internet as sort of independent from any government, and they regard a government interfering in the free flow of the internet as stepping outside of their jurisdiction.
Today they are known as a decentralized international activist and hacktivist collective, and primarily known for their various cyber attacks.
We are anonymous, we are strong, we do not forgive, we do not forget.
Well, to your surprise, it all started on 4chan's B-board, where users post without usernames. The B-board, also called Random, is an anonymous image board on 4chan. It was the first board created during the establishment of the platform in 2003, and it stands for anime/random. A lot of internet memes originate from the B-board, and also many people refer to it as a cesspool of the internet because of how strange the posts there are. Since the default label for users is anonymous, the name became a pseudonym for anyone posting without a handle.
They call themselves Anonymous. They are hackers on steroids, treating the web like a real-life video game, sacking websites, invading MySpace accounts, disrupting innocent people's lives.
This would lead more often to chaotic, unfiltered discussions and pranks. Users would sometimes jokingly act as if Anonymous was a single individual, just to prank others.
Their name comes from their secret websites. It requires anyone posting on the site to remain anonymous.
However, over the time, this idea of a hive mind emerged, with users acting as a single force rather than individuals, which became their central identity. They started to take form around 2006, evolving beyond a loosely organized group to a group of people with a shared ideology around free speech and anti-censorship. But their start was much different from the things we have seen in recent years. So let's talk about the raid on July 12, 2006, where a large number of 4chan users invaded the Finnish social networking site 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥𝙦. And if you didn't know, 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥𝙦 is a virtual world MMO game. And a problem that Anonymous detected is that one of the moderators of this game would suddenly ban people of color, which made Anonymous quite angry, and that would lead that the group would create avatars of black men wearing a grey suit and an afro hairstyle and block the entry to the pool, declaring that it was closed due to AIDS, and forming special type of formation in the game with their avatars. Still, this was only the start of Anonymous, but it showed their character and their philosophy.
They get what they call lulz.
Lulz is a corruption of LOL, which stands for laugh out loud. Anonymous gets big lulz from pulling random pranks. For example, messing with online children's games like 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥𝙦. The pranks are often anti-Semitic or racist and always posted on the internet.
But now let's address the first proper operation. Due to the growing traffic on 4chan sport, users soon began to plot prank-off sites using Internet Relay Chat or IRC. These raids resulted in the first mainstream press story about Anonymous. A reporter by Fox station KTTV in Los Angeles reported about a group called Hackers on Steroids, Domestic Terrorists, and the Internet Hate Machine. And just like that, they gained widespread attention, so to speak. But they would take these attacks to another level as they decided to attack a religious group, and a special one at that. The believers of the spaghetti monster?
You're right! It's so simple! God is a spaghetti monster! Oh, thank you! Jeez, my eyes are open!
No, something much more serious. I present you the Operation 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥𝙡𝙖, where in 2008 they planned and carried out a high-profile protest against the Church of Scientology. If you didn't know, Scientology isn't something you should mess with.
Remini spoke to the Today Show about the controversy.
If you speak out, you're labeled an enemy to the church, and the church has policies on how to deal with its enemies, and they go after them.
But why did they target a religion in the first place? It was quite simple. The church attempted to censor a leaked video of Tom Cruise promoting Scientology.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn. We are the authorities on getting people off drugs. We are the authorities on the mind. We are the authorities on improving conditions. Criminon, we can rehabilitate criminals. Way to happiness, we can bring peace and unite cultures.
This struck a nerve with anonymous users who, as you know, are opposed to censorship. This would lead to a campaign that involved coordinated online attacks and prank calls. But it didn't stop there, as there was a real-world protest outside the Church of Scientology, with many protesters wearing the Guy Fawkes mask, inspired by the graphic novel V for Vendetta. This mask would become eventually their symbol, representing their collective and its stance against perceived authority.
And whether or not we get viewed as vigilantes or whatever, hey, we'll take however people view us is how they view us.
During the cyber attacks or DDoS attacks, a group of anonymous uploaded a YouTube video with a robotic voice which would speak on their behalf.
Anonymous has therefore decided that your organization should be destroyed, for the good of your followers, for the good of mankind and for our own enjoyment.
Within 10 days, the video has attracted hundreds of thousands of views, which was quite a big thing back in the day. It's no wonder that this group became quite famous. There were also a few more attacks over the years, some more famous than others, but I wanna address some of them just to give you a better insight on their philosophy. The first one we are going to address was in 2010, when they launched Operation Payback in response to 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥𝙀𝙁 Software's DDoS attacks on copyright infringement sites like the Pirate Bay, and they would target other companies that would restrict the internet freedom.
I mean, when circumstances arose surrounding WikiLeaks, it was a much graver threat, one that required immediate action, and we will fight for the vindication of WikiLeaks, and the events surrounding the Pirate Bay have not been forgotten. Companies like this are playing a cruel game with the public and will make them lose.
After WikiLeaks, they faced service shutdowns due to leaked US diplomatic cables, and Anonymous added Operation Avenge Assange.
Supporters of WikiLeaks have crashed the Visa website overnight. The hackers are part of a collective called Anonymous. Yesterday they successfully attacked the MasterCard and PayPal online systems.
Although they briefly managed to shut the site down, they did manage to make $5.5 million in damages.
It's been called Operation Payback. So-called hacktivists secretly infiltrate thousands of other online computers whose owners are unaware of the process. They form a so-called zombie army of robo or slave computers that bombard the mainframes of the target companies with so many messages, the target computers slow down or crash under the onslaught.
But later, their IP addresses were provided to the FBI, which led to 14 arrests in 2013. The next operation was between 2010 and 2012, called Arab Spring, where they took action to support activists and protesters in the countries like Tunisia and Egypt.
Anonymous has heard the cries for freedom from the Tunisian people and has decided to help them win this battle against oppression.
They provided technical support such as guidelines on bypassing government internet censorship and organized once again DDoS attacks on the government websites. And the last one of them, and probably the most famous one, happened around 2011, targeting child exploitation websites on the dark web. The operation began when they discovered a large network of CP sites hosted on a dark server known as a Freedom Hosting. This server was notorious for hosting illegal content, including CP material. Anonymous members deemed it necessary to expose and take down these sites, seeing as a moral obligation. The members would hack these servers, gaining access to usernames of these people who hosted these sites, and they would later publish over 1500 usernames associated with Lolita City to bring attention to this issue and put pressure on authorities to take action. They released a statement explaining the moral reasoning behind this operation, emphasizing that their actions were intended to fight against the presence of exploitative and harmful content on the dark web. They expressed a stance of zero tolerance toward child exploitation, framing their actions as a form of digital vigilantism. Now, even if this sounds quite noble, there was also the operation called Ferguson in 2014, which was a shot in the back.
This week's brutal kill George Floyd, which has sparked protests and national outrage, is merely the tip of the iceberg in a long list of high-profile cases of wrongful death at the hands of officers in your state.
Where they, after the death of Michael Brown, they would try to release the personal information about Ferguson police officers if no action was taken.
People have had enough of this corruption and violence from an organization that promises to keep them safe. After the events of the past few years, many people are now beginning to learn that you are not here to save us, but rather, you are here to oppress us and carry out the will of the criminal ruling class. Unfortunately, we do not trust your corrupt organization to carry out justice, so we will be exposing your many crimes to the world. We are Legion.
The problem was that the group ultimately leaked the incorrect information about one officer, which led to a significant backlash and claims that Anonymous was irresponsibly doxing individuals without proof. I just wanted to say that, but some would say that their defining aspect is they will stand against anyone who opposes them. The collective has also no formal membership, anyone can join or leave, making it nearly impossible to shut it down as a whole. But again, there were several arrests over the years. Their philosophy centers around freedom of information, anti-censorship, and the resistance to authorities and surveillance, which is more and more prominent in this day and age. Many of my videos are censored or altered to fit within the guidelines, and sometimes I don't even manage to achieve that, and because of that I would greatly appreciate if you decide to subscribe to my channel and leave a like, because it would help me immensely to grow this channel, so you can be part of the Snorky community. But we can't deny that some of their actions have been controversial or have been seen as reckless, but they have raised awareness on issue of digital rights, privacy and freedom. There are quite interesting but also deep topic to dive in, but this should give you a good overview of them. So let's dive into something even more serious, and that's the trailer of GTA 4. We just happen to be a group of people on the internet who need just kind of an outlet to do as we wish, that we wouldn't be able to do in regular society. That's more or less the point of it. Do as you wish. There is a common phrase, we are doing it for the lols.
Anonymous hacked his site and plastered it with gay sex pictures. His girlfriend left him.
Who's that Pokemon?
Come on, be honest. Have you ever been rickrolled? Based on the comment sections of this music video, there are a whole bunch of us. Before we discuss 4chan's disturbing, weird and extreme cases, let's discuss a very important part of 4chan, its meme culture. Although the previous century was quite serious, this is completely harmless. But how many people know the origin of this praying? I was certainly surprised, as it was more interesting than I initially thought. As you can expect, it all started with the image board on 4chan in 2006, where there was a small beta switch prank called duck rolling. Here a link would supposedly lead you to an image or some other type of content, but instead you were met with an edited image of a duck with wheels, leading to the term duck roll. In 2007, a user of 4chan applied this bait and switch method to the music video Never Gonna Give You Up, claiming it was a trailer for GTA 4. As GTA 4 was a highly anticipated game, there is no wonder that a whole bunch of people fell for this prank, and it quickly replaced duck rolling, and it became known as Rick rolling, and the rest is history. The meme expanded to other social media sites where people would try to trick their friends into watching this video. By 2008, this was mainstream culture. The meme would even more grow in prominence when YouTube's April Fool's Day prank redirected all homepage links so that people would get rickrolled. Later that year, Rick Astley himself participated in the meme during the Macy's Thanksgiving Days Parade, surprising audiences by performing this song on a float, making it one of the largest rickrolls at the time. He fully embraced this meme. Also in 2007, the episode The Gang Dances Their Ass Off, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, also included this song, with the creators of the show unaware of the song rising comedic popularity.
What are you listening to?
Rick Astley, what's up?
Oh, nothing,
Leading
only
them
I
to
just saw...
incorrectly claiming they have invented this trend in a podcast in 2021. Do you remember how Anonymous attacked the Church of Scientology? I did mention that during this protest outside of the church, protesters would also play and chant the lyrics, essentially rickrolling the church, just to mock its attempts to control information. The rickroll became a symbol of resistance to censorship, and this is so 4chan. Rickrolling continued to appear across multiple platforms and media, including sport events, television shows, and even political settings. There is no point to addressing everyone who has been rickrolled, but you can always tell me in the sections when was your first time you have been rickrolled. What is also important to mention is that this video sits currently at 1.5 billion views, and also in the interview in March of 2008, the singer said that he found rickrolling of Scientology to be hilarious.
Here's a song by a gay guy.
I feel like 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙡𝙦's existence sparked a whole internet movement. Again, there is no chance you didn't see 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙦 himself or some other alliteration of him online, as this is still a trend going on quite strong. But did you know that this trend again started on 4chan? Well, it was created there, and later it would be modified and remixed in countless ways. 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙦 embodies a range of emotions and perspectives across various internet subcultures. 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙦 is also known as the feels guy, typically featuring a simple hand-drawn depiction of a bold, expressionless man with an often melancholic or contemplative facial expression. 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙦 is believed to have originated on a German image board, 𝙀𝙭𝙥chan. Aber was zum Teufel ist ein 𝙀𝙭𝙥chan? Komisch. Gehen wir weiter. I also have found out that in 2009 or 10 a Polish user first posted this image, calling it 𝙀𝙭𝙥, which is a common Polish name as a figure out, and he describes it as the feels guy because of the character's expression of loneliness, regret, and the sense of being misunderstood. What important is that these themes have resonated with many users, and because of this, 𝙀𝙭𝙥 would quickly spread through 4chan, especially in the R9K, a board known for posts about social anxiety, loneliness, and personal struggles. The character over time would evolve into a symbol, and on 4chan, 𝙀𝙭𝙥 became that symbol of a everyman figure for those who are struggling with personal and social issues. But 𝙀𝙭𝙥 would also alter and fit many other purposes. And now let's address a few of them, one of them being the doomer 𝙀𝙭𝙥. He has an unshaved face, looks tired, empty eyes, representing feelings of hopelessness and nihilism. 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥 became popular around 2018, symbolizing a generation's pessimism and detachment from society. Also, there are songs remixed online in a way so they are slower with added reverb, accompanied with a 𝙀𝙭𝙥 meme gif walking endlessly around on your screen. The best playlist out there if you want to take a bath with a toaster, trust me. There are also a few more variants like the Doomer Girl, a female counterpart to 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥. She is sometimes depicted as the romantic partner of Doomer, creating a storyline of two lost souls navigating their bleak lives together. And there is also the Zoomer, which is a generational contrast to the Doomer. 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙥 has a more upbeat, normie personality, embodying often the stereotypical traits about Generation Z. Psst, hey, you wanna hear more about Gen Z's problems? Here is a video for you, check it out later. People would often online see 𝙀𝙭𝙥 as more than just a meme. Some would say it's a real symbol that reflects different interest subcultures and reflects various attitudes and emotions shared by the people online. But 𝙀𝙭𝙥 embedded himself as a meme not only on 4chan but on every other social media out there. And to be perfectly honest, I love to throw some nostalgic 90s music with some Doomer twist to it, or those crazy motivational videos about how Doomer turns his life around. Definitely good stuff, but the next entry is far more extreme. Come on, we couldn't talk about Rick and 𝙀𝙭𝙥 without mentioning Pepe the Frog. I love how this Iceberg starts so innocent and then makes a 180 and starts diving into the most weird and obscure stuff you find online. Again, as we're discussing memes, we can't skip Pepe the Frog, so let's look into his history. He's initially an innocent and laid-back character. He's a character from the comic Boys Club by Matt Fury, which became a staple on 4chan's B and R9K boards in early 2000s. However, it isn't as simple as it may seem at first glance. Pepe was absorbed by various political groups, which worsened his image despite his carefree attitude. Like in 2015, a number of Pepe variants were associated with the alt-right movement. Some of them are the specific N group aus Deutschland, the Triple K clan and the White Power group, and I just love to wiggle through the guidelines. But just like 𝙀𝙭𝙥, over time users began to create their own versions and share it online, and Pepe would start representing everything from happiness to despair, anger, and to no one's surprise he would also start to represent and support different type of ideologies.
Interrupt you, Joe, but
no, please do.
There's something about the idea that the effectiveness of this meme is that it tangles people with no sense of humor in knots. And,
and that's a huge part of why those things are generated.
That's why they like it.
That's exactly right.
They love it.
Right.
Two of my favorite Pepe versions are the Angry Pepe .
The color of the pen that I hold in my hand is
depicted with the red eyes, the very intense facial expression. This version became common as users reacted to polarizing topics and represented frustration, or the sad Pepe version, especially the one with the fork. And once again, a meme became a symbol, this time on the politically incorrect board. He became particularly prominent in the 2016 US election, where he was widely used in memes supporting Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Poor Pepe. Memes would often emerge featuring Trump as Pepe, and because of this, the ADL or Controversy and Anti-Defamation League decided to designate Pepe as a hate symbol in 2016. I bet you didn't know that.
A popular cartoon character turned internet meme, Pepe the Frog, has been added to the Anti-Defamation League's database of hate symbols. In a press release, the organization wrote the character had been, quote, used by haters on social media to suggest racist, anti-Semitic, or other bigoted notions as a hate symbol, end quote.
This decision caused a significant public reactions and backlash, with many people pointing out that Pepe was a neutral meme character long before he was involved in any political debates. Matt, the creator of Pepe, spoke out against the politicization of the character and even launched campaigns to reclaim Pepe as a symbol of positivity.
A lot of different emotions. I don't think the alt-right
has the power to be able to reclaim them for their own. And I think Pepe as a meme and Pepe as kind of a symbol for youth culture and internet culture and stuff kind of transcends what's going on right now in American politics.
But is he that innocent? After all, have you heard about the 𝙀𝙭 and the cult of 𝙀𝙭? This is basically a pseudo-religion around Pepe, known as the cult of Pepe. This originated from a series involving the Egypt god 𝙀𝙭, who was depicted as a frog-headed entity and associated with chaos and transformation. Users on 4chan created a mythology around Pepe as 𝙀𝙭, often referring to him as a prophet figure who symbolized chaos and a cultural shift. And this religion perfectly fit into the role of 4chan.
Manifests himself in the 5 divine aspects of 𝙀𝙭: mischief, enlightenment, merriment, and edification. The final aspect, 𝙀𝙭, is the process by which memes manifest in our world.
And there is also the fictional country created by 4chan called Kyrgyzstan, with a flag that resembles a very old German flag I don't wanna mention or show here.
Oppressed people of Kyrgyzstan, they will be heard, they will be set free. Their reparations for Kyrgyzstan now.
So despite being an uplifting cartoon frog, Pepe is going through some rough times as he was transformed into a very powerful symbol with many different meanings depending on which side of the politics you are. And I never thought we would sit here and dive into meme history, but here we are.
And so a lot of these kids are lost in the underworld, let's say, in nihilism, and they turn to these ideological solutions because they don't know what else to do, and they're angry. It's like, I have something better for them to do. Grow the hell up and sort yourself out as an individual.
This concludes the first part of a lengthy series we have ahead. Besides Pepe, I am waiting to explore other corners of 4chan. But what are your favorite things that emerge from there? Don't be shy and tell me in the comment section. Sorry for not making this video any longer, I was working overtime, plus I am still quite sick. But I still hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, a like would help a lot, and consider subscribing to the channel to see more weird stuff like this. And of course, if you're feeling extra generous, you can always join my Patreon or membership to get the videos early. I've been Snorky, and once again, thank you for watching, and until the next deep dive, stay safe.